All right, today we'll go over SRT format subtitles. If you have a movie and you want to submit it to Film Hub or for Tubi TV or other channels, they require subtitles. So one way to create those pretty easily is through a program like DaVinci Resolve. And there's a free trial program. It won't have all the options, but it's pretty good. So that's what I'm using here, and going to File and then New Timeline, and that'll help you set the 1 hour to 0. So when our subtitles start, and they'll align with the movie itself. So instead of starting at 1 hour, they'll start at the 0 frame. And that's really important because if you leave it at 1 hour, like you saw in that introduction, it's going to mess things up. So here we are in the subtitle track. You just right click on and then you add subtitle, and then you do the same thing in the timeline, and that'll allow you to add the subtitle track. And then for subtitles, it's a requirement of 43 characters per line, which is really restrictive, but that helps keep things consistent and easier to read. So for sound effects, they do require those, so I usually put those in parentheses. That's required, and they want you to accent all the major sound effects. And then for the regular dialogue, I match it to the voice, and if the voice is off screen, the character, you could just put it in brackets like narrator, and then start typing your words in there. And once you reach about 39, maybe 43 at the most for the characters, then you want to create a new subtitle box, and that is a new line of subtitles to continue the dialogue. If you have like a really long speech or a really long sentence, they want you to pick up where you left off. You don't have to capitalize the start of it because it's still continuing from the last line. And then with the third line of dialogue, they want you to start using, I think they call them ellipses, the little 3 dots. I guess that's what it's called. But they want you to add those 3 dots, and that is a continuation of the line. But that's the general idea, and then I usually do it manually, because if you just import it, it's going to have to be separated anyway, because it's going to be all misaligned most times. And then there's a way you could create subtitles if you have the full program, but I tried that and I had to adjust so many things anyway, so it's just easier to type it all out as you go and do it manually. But that's it, and then you just export it through the export section, and then make sure you go under to the bottom where it says export SRT file as a separate file, and SRT is the more popular format for the subtitles. But that's it for the basic idea of creating subtitles. Now I'll go into my actual movie and show a little more of that. Alright, so when you're doing the subtitles for your film, what you want to do is pull this into DaVinci Resolve. If you have the free version, you could use that. And then, let's see, you want to go into this window here. I think it starts off here. And then you just pull in your files. And then you move over to here. You pull your movie right into here, video and audio. And then to create the subtitle track, let's see, I think I had to right click and see how you right click, and it says add subtitle track, then you do that, and then this will form here. And then to add the subtitle, let's see, you just, I think one of these forms where you just create the subtitle box, but once it's in there, then you got these moments where the character speaks. Rather than import the whole file, which is, you know, mostly lined up but not properly set up for the formatting they require. Usually 43 characters per line. So if I just copy paste everything, and the whole script is usually paragraphs, so it's not going to work for this. So I have to separate it anyway. So I might as well just type from scratch.
He's got the nose for it, but not the brains. I'll be taking over soon, so there's nothing to worry about.
So there's nothing to worry about. So that means I have to, I'm going to paste this here. And if you look at it, I have customized caption on. This usually doesn't matter for, like, if you're streaming your film to, let's say, a film channel or a film setup. They usually just ignore all these customize options. But if you're needing it for other purposes, I mean, you could customize it. And then, for example, here I had to take the 216 and change it to 326 by clicking on it. 326, and that raised the audio up to here, because before it was right in here blocking the other text, so that didn't work if I was using this for any purpose.
So there's nothing to worry about.
So it stops right there. So I'm going to pull this and just drag it to that point there. And he says, so there's nothing to worry about. So there's nothing to worry about.
So there's nothing to worry.
He does say nothing, so they do want you to describe it as it sounds if he misspells it or something like that.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Detective Pugfre. Detective.
So you want to look at your line here and say, okay, that lines up right there. So let me start right there. And then this is the Grim Reaper speaking. So he's on screen, so I don't have to worry about it. But if he was off screen, I would create these brackets, and that's on the keyboard to the right, on the just above the Control, the Shift, and the Enter, on the just above to the left. And you would just type in something simple like Grim, and then space, and then this is if he's off screen and you didn't see him there. And then he would say Detective Pugfre, and then you could add a question mark. But because he's on screen, I'll just go like that.
Detective Pugfre.
And see, there's a pause, so I'm going to separate it.
Pugfre. Why all the deaths on your watch?
So now he's off screen, so I could actually put this in if I want. I don't have to, but for someone who relies on the audio captions, they'll know exactly who's speaking.
Why all the deaths on your watch?
So it stops right there. And then see how that thing, you see how that flips off its section?
Your watch?
There we go. this tracker here can interfere with your line sometimes. So if it is, just pull it over there, and then you could adjust this more specifically. But I'll do one more, and then
Detective Pugfre, why all the deaths on your watch?
Every night a red...
so you go like that, and he says every night a red mist. Let's see what else he says.
Every night a red mist ghost demon enters town through the tunnels.
So that's going to be too long because it goes over 43 characters, including spaces and accents and all that. Every night a red mist killer enters. See how it counts 37 characters?
Every night a red mist ghost demon enters.
A red mist ghost demon. So I have 42.
Ghost demon enters town. Enters town through the tunnels.
So enters town through the tunnels. At first I wanted to connect the two sentences, so I was putting that in there. But when I look on a site like Tubi or some other site that has captions, they pull like a shadow background, a shadow box behind each caption. But this doesn't have that option here for some reason. I don't see it anywhere here. I don't know why it did that. If I go down here, like there's no option for a shadow background. It just shows the fonts. Why does it do that? And then it shows bold, italic, but none of that is necessary. You really can't. They really can't use that. Apparently, they just eliminate all that stuff.
Demon enters town through the tunnel.
So let's see.
Every night a red mist ghost demon enters town through the tunnels. Demon enters.
So he's still saying enter. So I'm going to pull this over to here.
Demon enters town through the tunnels.
And then he stops. They want you to stop within half a second of when he stops talking.
Selects a random victim.
So he says selects a random victim.
Selects a random victim.
So here I'm just going to do the brackets again.
Selects a random victim, enters right through the walls.
And because he's already talking, I'll just not.
Victim enters right through the walls.
And we're going to end there.
Random victim enters right through the walls.
They said if you have 3 of these next to each other, they want you to connect the third one. I think like this. I'm not 100% on this. They said ellipses. Is that an ellipse? I got to look it up and see what the terminology is. But that would connect the third bracket or whatever this is, the subtitle. Because you can't go over 43. See how that's 31? That's 33. This one's 42. You could go to 43. Alright, so let's say you're done with that and you want to save it. So I'd go up here, and then actually you got to go into this here. Is it there or? Oh no, it's here. this final section here. This is something I'm not a huge fan of, but it helps organize it, so I guess it makes it a little easier. Like having to click on these different things to get different features, I guess it makes sense. But then you would go under this here and see where it says export video. You could deselect that if you want, if you don't want the video out there. And then subtitle settings. You scroll down there. Why is it not showing that? Export subtitle. Okay. So you got to click on export subtitle. You don't have to export the... Oh, you do have to export the video. Alright, never mind. So this is just a really rough video quality, just so I could do subtitles. But export subtitles is a separate file. Or you could embed it if you want, or burn into the video embedded. I wonder if I could do that for like a DVD or Blu-ray. I wonder if that would work. If that's what embedded is. If it is, I could export the video with that burned in, but it's going to affect the quality probably. I don't know. Depends how you export it. If it's not the same quality, you might get a less precise picture. I don't know. They're able to do it and make it look good, so there's got to be a way. So SRT is the format that they look for. So you just click on that. If you do without formatting, I don't know. I think that has to do with the color of the text and the other stuff, but and the space on the section. But if they're just asking for regular SRT, you just send that, or without formatting, I guess you could probably do that too. Include the following subtitle track in the export. Subtitle 1. So that's subtitle 1 there. You just press export. And then you would press add to render queue. So it does have to render out the video too to get the subtitle exported. And then it shows up here, and then you just press render all, and it'll render it out. And then you just look for that SRT file. It'll be a special file with all your subtitles in there. You could open it up in a text program and look at how they formatted everything. But that's how you do subtitles for your movie, because a lot of these studios and channels that stream, they require subtitles no matter what. It's a very lengthy process. Some will offer to do it for you for a fee, and the fee is like pretty expensive, maybe $400. So if your movie is a smaller budget film with not a lot of marketing, it's going to take you a while to earn that $400 back if it's not a huge hit, because each view through these channels is only like half a penny or something like that. It's something small. So you can't really make up that kind of amount anytime soon if it's not a big hit or anything like that. But that's the general idea of how to do the subtitles. And feel free to comment, like, share, hit subscribe, and the bell all icon. And thanks a lot for watching. Hope this helped a little bit.